Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Friday. We got 15 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Huge slate today. Yesterday was just absolutely horrible. Could not even buy a win yesterday. Tough day. Hopefully we have a better day today. Yeah, we'll hop in it here. 15 matchups, starting with the Boston Red Sox versus the Chicago Cubs. Red Sox opening up as road favorites at -130. The Cubs +110 with the over-under at 9. Pitching for the Red Sox is Rich Hill with an ERA of 4.23. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run and had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Cubs is Adrian Sampson with an ERA of 1.69. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Boston coming off a 6-5 win against Toronto. Cubs coming off a big win against Cincinnati yesterday, 15-7. Boston 13-4 on the road, playing good road baseball here. Yeah, I like Rich Hill on the mound. Sampson's only played 1 game this season. Doesn't have too much under his belt so far. I think I'm going to lean with the Red Sox on the road. Next matchup, we have the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto opening up as home favorites at -125. The Rays +115 with the over-under at 9. Pitching for the Rays is Corey Kluber with an ERA of 3.45. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Jose Barrios with an ERA of 5.86. His last start, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 8 runs, had 1 strikeout. Couple rough games for Barrios on the mound. Tampa Bay losing to Toronto yesterday 4-1. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now. Man, just not in love with Barrios. He's given up a lot of runs in his last. He's given up 17 runs in his last 3 starts. Corey Kluber's only given up 4. I think I'm going to lean with the Rays, +1.5 on the road. Didn't play that good yesterday. I do like Kluber on the mound for the Rays today, so I'm going to take Rays +1.5. Next matchup, we have the Miami Marlins versus the Washington Nationals. Nationals opening up as home favorites at -125. The Marlins +115 with the over-under at 9. Pitching for the Marlins is Trevor Rogers with an ERA of 5.86. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Nationals is Josiah Gray with an ERA of 3.82. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Miami coming off a 4-3 win against St. Louis. Washington coming off an 8-7 loss against Pittsburgh. Miami is 6-1 on the road against Washington, where they've been pretty solid. Josiah Gray's been actually really good on the mound, only giving up 2 runs in his last 3 starts. I like Miami here. Been good on the road against the Nationals, and Trevor Rogers hasn't been the best on the mound here, but good value with the Marlins, especially for a money line play as well. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Marlins +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Cardinals opening up as road favorites at -145. The Phillies +125 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Cardinals is Miles Mikolas with an ERA of 2.57. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 9 strikeouts. Pitching for the Phillies is Bailey Faulkner with an ERA of 4.50. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 4 strikeouts. St. Louis coming off a 4-3 loss against Miami. Phillies coming off a huge win against Atlanta yesterday, 14-4. Yeah, I'd say pretty even pitching matchup. Miles definitely has been better. He's only given up 3 runs in his last 3 starts here. I think I would only with the Cardinals on the road. Love Miles on the mound. Yeah, I'm leaning with the Cardinals on the road here. Next matchup, we have the Atlanta Braves versus Cincinnati Reds. Braves opening up as road favorites at minus 260. The Reds plus 210 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Braves is Max Fried with an ERA of 2.77. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Pitching for the Reds is Mike Minor with an ERA of 7.71. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 4 strikeouts, given up 14 runs in his last 3 starts. Hasn't been that good on the mound here. Atlanta coming off that horrible loss against the Phillies yesterday. Cubs coming off a horrible loss against the Cubs yesterday as well here. Yeah, I like the Braves here. Do like Fried on the mound. Minor's just giving up too many runs. Very hard to trust him for the Reds. I'm going to take the Braves on the road. Next matchup, we have the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brewers opening up as road favorites at minus 185. The Pirates plus 165 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Brewers is Corbin Burns with an ERA of 2.41. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Pitching for the Pirates is Roansy Contreras with an ERA of 2.76. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 4 strikeouts. Milwaukee coming off an 8-7 loss yesterday against Pittsburgh where they struggled. Not that they struggled, but man, they really shouldn't have lost that game. Pitt on a 2-game winning streak. I mean, Milwaukee 8-1 against Pitt. That was the first time Pitt's beat them in a very long time. I like the odds of Milwaukee here on the road. Pitt hasn't beat them in forever, they beat them yesterday. But the chances of them winning back-to-back, I just think it's going to be very tough here. I'm going to take the Brewers on the road. Next matchup, we have the New York Yankees versus the Cleveland Guardians. Yankees opening up as road favorites at minus 225. The Guardians plus 185 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the Yankees is Garrett Cole with an ERA of 2.99. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 8 strikeouts. Pitching for the Guardians is Aaron Savale with an ERA of 7.20. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, and had 2 strikeouts. Yankees coming off a 2-1 loss against Houston yesterday. Cleveland on a 2-game winning streak, coming off 2 wins against Minnesota. Yeah, they're 6-1 against Cleveland where they played very well. I'm not in love with Savale on the mound. Hasn't been the best this season. I do like Garrett Cole coming off back-to-back 1-run games. Yeah, I'm going to take the Yankees on the road. Next matchup, we have the Texas Rangers versus the New York Mets. Mets opening up as home favorites at minus 200. The Rangers plus 165 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Rangers is Glenn Otto with an ERA at 5.31. His last start, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 1 strikeout. Pitching for the Mets is Chris Bassett with an ERA of 3.91. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, and had 5 strikeouts. The Rangers coming off a 2-1 loss yesterday against Kansas City. Mets on a 3-game losing streak right now. On a tough little stretch here. Bassett hasn't been horrible on the mound. Glenn Otto coming off a 6-run game. And Texas just 2-4 on the road against the Mets where they've struggled. Mets 13-4 at home on a 3-game losing streak. I like the Mets to bounce back at home. Struggling. I think they get it done against the Rangers. I'm taking the Mets at home. Next matchup, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Colorado Rockies. Rockies opening up as home favorites at -125. The Diamondbacks +105 with the over-under at 11.5. Pitching for Arizona is Merrill Kelly with an ERA of 3.64. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, and had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Rockies is Antonio Senzatella with an ERA of 4.66. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, and had 6 strikeouts. Arizona coming off a 4-0 loss against the Padres. Colorado coming off an 8-4 loss against the Angels. Both teams coming off a loss here. Not really in love with this matchup. I'd say a pretty even pitching matchup here. Both pitchers giving up a good bit of runs. The over's at 11.5. I mean, I'd probably take the over. Vegas is definitely hoping for a high scoring game here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot with Arizona +1.5. Could be a close one, high scoring game. So the over is very intriguing, and then I'm gonna take the Diamondbacks +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Baltimore Orioles versus the Minnesota Twins. Twins opening up as home favorites at -235. The Orioles +190 with the over/under at 9. Pitching for Baltimore is Spencer Watkins with an ERA of 5.14. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Pitching for the Twins is Joe Ryan with an ERA of 3.20. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 1 strikeout. Baltimore 0-10 on the road against Minnesota, 4-16 against Minnesota. They just cannot beat the Twins here. Both teams coming off 2-game losing streaks here. Yeah, I'm going to take the Twins at home. The Orioles just cannot beat the Twins, and they can't beat them on the road. So I'm going to take the Twins at home. Next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Angels versus the Houston Astros. Astros opening up as home favorites at -165. The Angels +140 with the over/under at 8.5. Pitching for the Angels is Michael Lorenzen with an ERA of 4.24. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Astros is Christian Javier with an ERA of 2.73. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 13 strikeouts. LA coming off a 4-1 win against the White Sox. Houston on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a 2-1 win against the Yankees. Houston. I do like Javier on the mound. Only giving up 3 runs in his last 3 starts. Lorenzen's given up 10 runs. Hasn't been the best on the mound for the Angels here. I think I'm going to lean with the Astros at home. Next matchup, we have the Oakland Athletics versus the Seattle Mariners. Seattle opening up as home favorites at -200. Oakland +170 with the over/under at 8. Pitching for Oakland is James Caprillion with an ERA of 5.88. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 2 strikeouts. Pitching for the Mariners is Marco Gonzalez with an ERA of 3.31. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Oakland on a 4-game losing streak, coming off an 8-6 loss against Seattle yesterday. Seattle on a 3-game winning streak, playing very well. Oakland just 2-17 against Seattle, 3-8 on the road against Seattle. So they just really do struggle against the Mariners here. I do like Marco Gonzalez on the mound, and I'm gonna take the Mariners at home. Next matchup, we have the San Diego Padres versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers opening up as home favorites at -185. Padres +155 with the over/under at 7.5. Pitching for the Padres is Blake Snell with an ERA of 5.60. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Pitching for the Dodgers is Tony Gonsolin with an ERA of 1.58. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. Padres losing to the Dodgers yesterday 3-1. They're 0-7 on the road against the Dodgers, where they just have not been able to get it done. 1-12 straight up against the Dodgers. Yeah, they really do struggle against LA here. Blake Snell hasn't been the best on the mound, giving up 10 runs in his last 3 starts. Gonsolin's only given up 3. He's been very good. I think I'm going to lean with the Dodgers at home. Padres really do struggle against the Dodgers and cannot beat them on the road. So I'm going to take the Dodgers at home. Next matchup, we have the Chicago White Sox versus the San Francisco Giants. Giants opening up as home favorites at -150. The White Sox +130 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the White Sox is Lance Lynn with an ERA of 6.19. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 8 runs. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 5 runs, had 8 strikeouts. Pitching for the Giants is Alex Cobb with an ERA of 5.48. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. White Sox losing to the Angels 4-1 in the last game. Giants coming off a 3-2 loss against Detroit in their last game. I do like Cobb on the mound. Been pretty consistent. Lynn's given up 11 runs in his last 3 starts. I'm just not in love with the White Sox here. Haven't played that great, and just not in love with them at all here. I'm going to lean with the Giants at home. And then the last matchup, we have the Kansas City Royals versus the Detroit Tigers. Can't find any line on this game here, so be sure to check that out when the info does get released. The only info I can find on this matchup is that pitching for the Royals is Brad Keller with an ERA of 4.56. His last start, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Kansas City coming off a 2-1 win against the Rangers. Detroit coming off a 3-2 win against the Giants. Kansas City is 6-3 in their last 9 against Detroit, so they've played well against Detroit here. Don't know the line on this, so I'm just going to leave this matchup a question mark. Wouldn't really bet on this matchup anyways. Way better matchups on the board. But when the line comes out, see what's available. But I would maybe lean with the Royals, but we'll see what the line looks like. So this matchup is honestly just going to be a question mark for me. It is a nighttime game, so we'll see what happens with this matchup. I'm just going to mark it as a question mark, and then feel free to, whenever the line comes out, check back on it later. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Friday. Hope you guys cash out, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a good one.